like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. We've got 7 people in here already. That's great. Excuse my voice today in this stream. I'm very tired. I will try and stream for a long time though. I'll do my best. Hello JP, freak. And the chat is broken again. Oh boy. Let's see if I can fix it. There we go. Okay. Today we are going to just backtest and chill. The whole point of today is I'll showcase to you what I actually do when I backtest, what I look for, how I collect my data, and I'll also explain what I trade, so the 4-hour gap, all of that. Most of you already know that, most of you are aware of it, but I'd like to stream over it and make a long stream just backtesting. So this is Traders Casa. I am affiliated by them. They are actually a very new, I'm not sure how new they are, but they're very recent in terms of when they were made. I'd suggest you use them and support these guys because they've got a 100% free backtesting version of the account you can sign up with on Traders Casa. And no other backtesting software has that. No other backtesting software gives you a 100% free version for the account. So the link is in the description below if you really want to check them out. We will do some market analysis. So for example, let me see if I can bring it up. I'll try and do that with, give me a sec. There we go. Oh, that's so much better than last stream, isn't it? Let me go on to full live screen for you guys. There we go. So, here we go. So as I said last stream, we had this gap that we were waiting for price to tap into. Clearly we have. It has disrespected it. We are in discount officially from the daily range at the moment. You would be anticipating buys from here, but you also do want to be checking news, of course. My screen is flickering. I don't know why. Anyways, let me see if I can open the news for you right here. I should be able to. Yep, I can. Oh, this is so much better this time. Okay. So today it's actually a French bank holiday, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Wednesday. And for New York, there is news at 1 p.m, which would be... Oh, yeah, there's barely any news today, guys. There's not news at all. Let me just make sure. Yeah. I've got yellow news, low impact news off. There are a couple of yellow news, which means low impact. But the main ones like orange and red, there's none of those today. So, Tuesday we had cash rate, which was yesterday. We clearly saw a huge move, which was from premium of this gap, 4-hour gap, displacement down. I did see a couple of you catching this in the Discord. I appreciate that you shared it with everyone else. So let me just break down what happened yesterday. I didn't trade this. I was actually sleeping, and that's a very bad habit of mine. Whenever the model plays out perfectly and everything plays out as it should, like literally step by step as I've broken it down on YouTube, whenever that happens, I'm sleeping. Like, I need to stop sleeping so much. It's not laziness. I just get very tired from everything I've got to do on a daily basis. So I've already highlighted the gap on the 4-hour. Let me get rid of this. I don't trade these, by the way. These are just here because people were recommending or requesting for me to analyze last time. Okay, there we go. So would that AUD news affect EURUSD? Yeah, it can. It can for sure. Any news impacts any markets for sure. The thing that you want to keep in mind is obviously AUD will impact Australian dollar the most. The reason why it impacts other currencies as well is because although there will be orders within or investments within Australian dollar, where is it? Is it this one? Oh, you mean here? Right. Yeah. So of course, it already has, as you've seen it. And as I was saying, although there will be orders within Australian dollar, there is also investments into the euro and the dollar itself, which when such thing happens and it causes volatility in the Australian dollar, it will have to correlate and cause volatility with EURUSD. It just has to. You missed the setup because you were asleep. AUD CAD short. Yep. Happens, man. Happens. It happens to me a lot. So, but it's fine though. Here's the thing I did want to say about that actually. A bad habit of people that are getting started or learning is that when they miss a trade, they try very bad to force a trade right after that, which would mean, like, for example, we miss this one, so they try and enter there. But here's the thing, right? Your model has shown up here, and now you're trying to force a different model, a different mindset, a different entry, everything, when there are so many perfect factors into one strategy, like one box of a strategy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, that if those 5 steps don't show up, anything else is a different strategy. So if you don't trade the steps that you've been given, which, for example, after you sleep, good morning, Rooks, good morning, Z-Star, what's up? If you don't trade the steps that you've given yourself, you're essentially trading a completely different strategy next time. And the reason why that's bad as a trader is because I'll showcase you today. When you backtest and get an edge, that edge will carry you for the rest of your trading career or experience, right? So if you don't trade that edge, then you're trading a different experience, and you shouldn't be doing that because you keep changing it over and over again. The chat is broken again. I don't get how to do this, guys. I really don't. Let me fix it. There we go. Maybe that'll help. That should do. Perfect. All right. But the alert box is there. God damn it. Okay. How about there? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So let me break down what happened yesterday. Some of you caught it. Some of you posted on, well, some of you, it was 2 people. A couple other people caught it as well, and they messaged me. What happened yesterday was, as we broke down, I said if you were to look for longs, you would have to wait for this area right here. The reason why, as we said, is because we trade off of context, which the context that we use is premium and discount. Currently on the daily range with the swing high and the swing low, which is the most recent high and the most recent low. In the range that we are dealing with at the moment, we are in premium, or we were in premium. It was yesterday during the stream. And during the stream, I called out and I said that we are in a gap at the moment. We are in premium. You'd only be looking for sales at the moment. And clearly that was the most favorable side to go after. If you was to look for buys, as I explained to you, you'd have to wait for this gap to get reached, or perhaps just under 50% equilibrium minimum. So now we are here. You could look for longs, but you need context. You need a hell of a lot of context when it comes to this situation at the moment. The reason why is because we're not deep in discount. It is just 50%, and this fair value gap has been disrespected. However, like I've said before, if gaps get disrespected, that does not mean the price will continue to go that direction. For example, if this gap gets disrespected on the 4-hour right here, what do I teach you? How do I tell you to stand out from other traders? It's context, right? So the context is, and I haven't analyzed yet, I'll get to backtesting very soon. The context is that we've disrespected this gap on the 4-hour. However, on the daily, we have not. There's still a lot of room on the daily gap. So that does not mean the price will continue going down or up. We need context, we need confirmation. At the moment, we actually went past the 50% point of the daily gap, which is very good. At this point, I would prefer to go long rather than short, but it's not a very good, I guess, setup at the moment whatsoever. You can trade this if you wish, like I said, but just be very accurate and disciplined with your risk. Don't over risk, don't over, I guess, expect the outcome. Don't do any of that. Just trade the plan and plan the trade, or plan the trade, trade the plan, whatever. So we are in that gap now that I called out. This is where you'd be looking for longs. There's also gaps below, so keep that in mind. The context is that on the daily, the gap is bigger, and below that, there actually isn't a gap further down. I don't think there's one here and a very tiny one there, which has been disrespected. So you could trade this if you wanted to. You really could. You could go long here, but the problem is that the 50% point is very, very close to it. So you wouldn't be deep into discount. You'd be just barely touching it and assuming or betting on the fact that it would go up higher. I'll also do some macroeconomical analysis, or I'll try to anyways. But yeah, you want to keep in mind context. So the context is we are moving away from a gap on the premium and we are delivering down. So anything could happen at the moment. So yeah, my forecast would be just wait it out, because this gap has been disrespected. We have just entered into discount, and you'd want a very clean move away if you really wanted to trade this. You want a very clear displacement. Is this news? What is this? Just a huge move down. Right, we have actually officially just swept Tokyo's liquidity, so we'll see if we get what we really want. And you guys know that this repeats all the time. I've called it out, I've explained it. Underneath Tokyo and above Tokyo there is liquidity. The reason why is because just here, oh, I've got magnet. My trader view is lagging. Just here and just above it, there is orders, which means people put their stops here, people put their limits there, people put their take profits, people put their just general stops, or general orders. And orders are what actually make the market liquid. Orders are what makes the market flow, and that's what we trade, order flow. That's the whole point of my videos. That's the whole point of me teaching you what I teach. So anyways, that's all there is for EURUSD. I don't see a trade today, specifically because, like I showed you, the news show that today, Wednesday, May the 8th, it's a French bank holiday. France is actually one of the biggest contributors to the European Union. Germany is the first one. French is I think it's the third one. Italy is the second one, something like that. I'll double check. But we've got USD news at 1 p.m. for New York, which is further down the line today. And no news for any other type of currency, so I don't expect much of a push. However, that can happen without news. That does happen, it has happened before, and it can happen. Anyways, should we get straight into backtesting then? Yeah? Let me just do that. Here we go. So, the narrative is controlled, LOL. Wait. These news numbers are a joke. Sweden just had their rate statement, and look how it trades below sell side 1 minute before news and targets the buy side, LOL. I'm not sure what you mean, but narrative, here's the thing, narrative is tried or attempted to be controlled. What I mean by that is that it's not 100% easy for the big players to control the narrative regardless, because what they've got to do is take out players. They've got to take out players, they've got to get players in, they've got to take those players out, they've got to take out players again, they've got to enter themselves, they've got to liquidate themselves, and it's not easy to do all of that. It's not easy to just control the narrative. Yes, they can push price, and price will always push regardless of what they do. But it's not easy to just control what the narrative is. What are the sessions times for Tokyo, London, New York? I see other ICT's channels tell you different. Yeah, so the official ones, I'll show you. The official and only times. Let me explain first of all that you should not use any other time but UTC -4, which is the New York time zone right here. And even if time zones change, like when time goes 1 hour ahead or 1 hour behind, you should always refer to the New York time zone. The reason why is because we deal with the New York stock exchange time. So I've already posted it on Discord actually. If you go to Discord and you go to time on one of the channels, it's called time. I've got images there which teach you everything about it, but these will be wrong. Let me just show you. For Tokyo, it will be 8 p.m. to 12. So 8 p.m. New York time till 12 midnight. That's Tokyo. That's where Tokyo creates its consolidation. That's where it creates the liquidity for us. And then London is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Give me a sec. (2 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then New York is 7 till 10, if I'm not wrong. It's always 7 to 10. London is always 2 to 5, and so on. Those are the kill zones. I trade between, or I try to trade past 2 a.m. So I leave the first hour of the session to manipulate, and I can showcase to you why that's the case. Typically, and again, the keyword is typically, not always. Typically, price will set the low of the day or high of the day within the first hour of the session, which is kind of like the manipulative phase, and I can showcase that to you multiple times. For example, here in London, this is the first hour. So in terms of how the indicator has shifted it, I'm going to actually remove the indicator. We don't need that at the moment. 2 a.m. is right here. So the 4-hour gap we've highlighted is in discount. We've disrespected it already, and we are waiting to see a clear move away. At the moment, nothing is clear. I don't consider any of this clear. On the 5-minute, we have seen that during 2 a.m. up to 2:40, we've seen a swing high. So this could very well be the high of the day. We are on Wednesday, so we could see a reversal. It's a Wednesday weekly profile. Reversal Wednesday weekly profile. The high of the week has been set on Monday, and we could easily see the week expanding down lower onto discount deeper. So we want clear moves, because right now nothing is clear. Sometimes you have to sit on your hands and just wait for clean moves. These are not clean moves at the moment. Yesterday was clean. Yesterday was clean, and I told you about it. I told you what you should consider and anticipate, and it was only shorts. And some of you took action, and that's what differentiates people from other people in trading. You have to take action. So the gap was there. We are in premium. We took shorts, and such scenario today is not playing out. So we have to wait. We have to wait for the same thing to repeat. We have to wait for similar scenarios to appear so we can take clear trades. And at the moment, we've disrespected this gap. There is no gap below it. On the daily, we are still in one, which could, deliver an actual buy-side liquidity targeting, but we'll wait. So as I explained, 8 p.m. till 12 midnight, that's Asia. 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., that's London. And 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. is New York. I think someone subscribed, but it's not giving me the alert. I don't know. Did it give you the alert? Did anyone see the alert? I don't even know. That was weird. Right. So let's try and backtest the things that I've taught you and showcase to you how I actually backtest. I'll get right into it, but I do want to ask, what do you guys think you're supposed to do when you're backtesting, when you're going back in time and look at that price action? I'll tell you my answer in a bit, but I just want to see what you guys think you're supposed to do. So, with Traders Casa, they're still on the works, they're developing. So, saw no alert. Yeah, that's weird. Why? That's the alert you're supposed to see. Right there. Weird. I don't know. It's fine. So, yeah, see, someone else just subscribed, no? Or was that... I don't get streaming. So, Traders Casa is still under development. They have up to the daily time frame. They are adding weekly, hopefully this week, they said, or next week. They're still testing it. And we can't use the weekly time frame or above. We can use the daily, and that's perfectly fine. It does help to have the weekly and the monthly when you're doing top down, but that's fine. No worries. So, I was going to answer the question of what you're supposed to do when backtesting. This is my account on backtesting on Traders Casa, where I collect data. I don't trade this. I took a trade accidentally, but I collect data. So essentially, when you're backtesting, what you want to do is collect data on gaps, collect data on the movement away from it, collect the data on the respect, disrespect, collect data on when it happened. I'll show you an example of that if I can. Let me see. I'll show you one of my sheets of data, which is pretty big. Give me one sec. Right, can you see this? Yes, you can. So here's one of my data sheets. It's one of them. I aim to complete this and put even more. But this is very, very important. If you want to take a screenshot of this, if you want to copy the thing that I'm doing, if you want to take inspiration, motivation, take notes, whatever you want to do, you can do this. Share this with your friends. Just keep it for yourself and use this if you want. What I do is, every time I encounter a gap in the market when I'm backtesting here, for example, let's say here we have a, well, we're on the daily. Here on the 4 hour, we have a gap right there. We have a gap right here. And the current range that we are dealing with, as clearly it has not been broken yet, is this. Right? And once we get to one of these gaps, I go to my data after it has reacted, and I put the day of which we have tapped into that gap, the date, whether it was in premium or discount, the time frame, which tends to be always 4 hour because that's what I deal with, the time of which it was tapped into, like for example, I can't show you right now, but the stage of which we got the confirmation at the time, which was on the 5 minute, and the entry, the time of the entry which we got. And then this percentage is how much of the gap was filled. So 100% means that the whole gap was filled. 25% was that we just tapped into it and then rejected away. And then in terms of overall target, the first opposing 4 hour gap, this is how many times it gets reached. The second one, this is how many times it gets reached. And the third one is very rare, as you can tell, only once. This is how many pips away we move from gap to gap. And this is how many pips it is from the entry instead of the gap. This is where the break-even point gets met or not. So price comes back into where you would have entered. And many times it doesn't. Sometimes it does. This is the duration of which it took for price to get from gap to gap. This is the approximate pips of the stop loss. So where you would have placed it logically and based on the actual context of the current price action. The take profit, which would have been just close to 4 hour gap or a different type of buy side, sell side liquidity. This is how many pips we actually went into drawdown when you entered. This is the total fair value gap pips that we entered inside of the 4 hour gap. And I believe, oh no, this is the size of the gap. So for example, that's the wrong page, excuse me. This gap right here, we could measure it. And it's just pure data. This is 110. Is that right? Oh, this is the daily, that's why. But yeah, that's correct, probably. That's a huge gap, wow. 112 pips, and you'd go over here and note it down as 112 pips. And then when price reaches into it, so let's say we go like this. That's where I would personally record. So you'd go like that and record 25 pips into the gap. And the reason why you want to record that is because you're quantifying how deep we're going to these gaps. We're quantifying what the typical idea is or what the mindset or what we should expect. I do want to add more into this, like liquidity being swept or liquidity not being swept, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's see if we can go back to this date specifically, which is 2nd of February 2022. So are we there? We are there. Okay. So let's get rid of the things I was trying to give you an example of. And 2nd of February is right here. I believe I'm talking about this gap right there. Let's see. Can I do this? Is this fine? This should be fine. Okay. So 2nd of February, it's in premium 4 hour. The gap tap time is 8:15 a.m. Change to New York. Let's see. Would it be this? I'm not sure which one I'm referring to be honest. I would assume it's this, right? It's been a while since I've back tested like this, so just bear with me. There we go. should be it. So this is at 7, and if we mark that out, go to the 5 minute. Yep, that matches, I think. 8:15. 8:15. There we go. The gap gets hit. This is during New York, and like I've explained to you guys many times in the videos, I will keep saying this, by the way. So you note down every gap on the 4-hour time frame. I try to just so I'm aware of everything around me. I don't trade every single gap. It's good to be aware and try to be as objective and critical as you can. So the way you do that is by having not everything highlighted, but as much as you can when it comes to what you know. And for me, it's gaps, so I highlight them. So we've tapped into the gap. We go down to the 5 minute time frame. The first disrespect would have to be here. We clearly have a gap here that does not get disrespected, and then we have another one here, which is the opposing direction, which would be, this is a bullish gap, right? We're trying to go bearish, so if we disrespect this one, that's a sign. And then right after that, we actually get a retracement, which is this, and then you get a second retracement, which is that one. The first gap gets retraced into, the second gap gets retraced into, and the opposing target for that would have to be this one here, which does get reached, as you can tell. And I've also said that yes, you can target the opposing 4-hour gap, as you can clearly see here, but you also do not need to, because there might be easier fruit to catch, the, you know, lower fruit, as some people will say, which would entail that you target something on the lower time frame, like these equal lows right here, for example. That's an easier target. It's right above the 4-hour gap, actually, which this is such a sweet spot. So let me explain something. The easy targets are just pure logic, and by logic I mean this. If you understand that in these highs here, there, in these lows here, there, there's liquidity for people to target, sweep, and use to push higher or lower. If you know that, then you can apply this logic and common sense. If there's a low here that hasn't been taken out, and there's a low just above that one, and then it's above a 4-hour gap, what do you think will happen when you go there? That's a beautiful honeypot. That's such a sweet spot to collect liquidity in. There's two equal lows, there's a 4-hour gap, and we are bullish overall, right? After delivering from a 4-hour gap. And then I bet this is during New York, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., reversal. And look at that. That's probably news, of course, but still, like, it's just common sense. And it's stuff like that you need to keep in mind. So let's move forward into the next collection of data. Excuse me. Right now, price has pushed very far up. I would like to get higher time frame context, but I can't at the moment, as I said. Trader Casa will add weekly time frames and more. So we have a buy side liquidity up here, clearly. The range that we are dealing with, as I said, is from the top to the bottom of this high and swing low. In this case, anyways. I will also go to the dates for this price action to check the news. So this is Friday, 4th of February. Let's do the whole week. 2022, February 4th, which would be Monday. Oh, we don't have a Monday. Okay, cool. When did the expansion happen? Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong chart. Right. The expansion happened during Thursday. And what do we have on Thursday? Oh, a lot of news. Pound rate, euro rate, ISM, unemployment claims. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot. On Friday, we had NFP, which is this right here. And that could easily push price onto that buy side liquidity. Let's just play forward a little bit so we can get some more context. Oh, it's not letting me. Why isn't it letting me? Okay, I have to use the 4-hour, that's fine. There we go. I think that's that's an official buy side liquidity collection, as you can tell. I'm not trying to show you anything special, I'm just backtesting and collecting data, like I said. We are pushing down after that sales buy side liquidity collection. And here's the thing, right? Now that we have taken out that high, this range is in no good. This range is not useful anymore. The new range would obviously be the new one, so it would be this. And we'd keep anchoring as price keeps moving and creating a new range. Currently, we have taken out the previous day high. This is on a Friday. Friday tends to reverse. And when does it reverse? During New York. What time are we in? Let's see. 10 a.m. So this would be a perfect... Well, it's already happened, actually. 8:30 reversal. It started during 7. The first hour has already placed the high of the day. And then we're just reversing down during 9 a.m. and so forth. The displacement might have some sort of concept. It does. It literally does. Why am I even questioning it? So there's 4-hour gaps on the left. Let me give you some context. This one has been disrespected. 4-hour gap here has not been tapped into. There's one more which might be perfect right there. I doubt it. I do doubt it. Let's see. Yeah, so that's been disrespected, but as you can tell, there is resistance, as you may call it, on the upside in these gaps. So this one, this one, this one. This one does not get tapped into officially, but I believe in a different broker it would have. Let's just assume that has not. The context that we've got at the moment is that we've taken out this high here. Perhaps on the daily there's a gap. Yes, there is, as you can tell. And guys, I don't want to appear like I'm teaching you some sort of a secret, because it's not a secret. It's just, like I've said, market mechanics. But these swing highs and these reversal points and these swing lows and these other swing lows will more than likely often be in gaps, which is this one right here. The one above it does not get reached, as I said. But there's a gap right here that gets reached perfectly. And like, even if I don't call this out and I don't mark it out, why is there a specific swing high so beautiful at this time right here, which this is likely at 9 a.m. likely, like I said. Let's see. It is actually, well, 3, 5, 7. It's not at 9 a.m. This is an attempt at it, but no, it's not. Fair enough. So the context is we've taken our buy side liquidity. We are in a daily gap, which is this one right here. And we're seeing a very clean move away down. So at this moment, we'd wait for displacement on the lower time frame. At the moment, we have failed to displace through this gap on the 4-hour. We wicked away. And now we have this other candle, which is 7 a.m. is New York. We are reversing down. On the 5-minute, the model has already shown itself multiple times. Once it's here, 7:55, displacement down through this gap. It's happened even here, actually. Displacement down through this gap, retracement, displacement down through this gap, retracement, displacement down through this gap, retracement, and it just keeps happening. It's just, it keeps repeating like it's nothing. Let's see what will happen. For more context, we are back into the gap now. Same daily gap. This is actually after New York, so lack of volatility is common. And during Friday, New York time, there was actually no more news after 10 a.m. So we don't expect any more volatility at this point. Price should consolidate between this point and whatever gap we've got on the lower time frame, which would happen to be this. And let me show you how this commonly happens all the time. This is where price will wedge between. Likely. Very likely. Okay, we are now on to the next day. This is now the beginning of London. So beginning of London was just here. Where is it? Just here. And we have already, let's see. Let's get higher time frame context and narrative. Oh, but would you look at that? All right. So we are in deep premium. And if there's something that you need to keep in mind, is there any days you avoid, for example, certain red folders like NFP? Of course. FOMC, NFP, CPI, PPI. Just the bigger the impact, the more you want to avoid it, because it's not worth it. I have been before in live drawdown where you just couldn't close your trade. That's how much volatility there was in the market, or even lack of liquidity to liquidate your order. And you don't want to experience that, because a 0.5% loss will turn into a 1, 2, 3. And if you're lucky, you'll get out easily and unhurt, essentially. I've received a message from someone, so give me 1 second. I'm still going to be talking about this. Don't worry. Right. Didn't even need to close the screen. So we have tapped into a 4-hour gap, which has just been generated. And when does it happen, guys? Beautifully at 3 a.m. It has been fully rebalanced. I'm going to close. I'm going to get rid of this gap that got disrespected. It has been fully disrespected, actually. That's kind of a confirmation. So we have moved away from a daily gap. On the 4-hour, we have created an expansive gap, which is this. It's not fully an expansive gap, a breakaway gap, but we can see that there's a sign the price is looking to go further down. The next opposing 4-hour gap would be here, and that happens to be just above 0.5%. So there's a lot of room to push down, essentially. This is a high probability trade. I will take it, and I don't guarantee that it will win, like I said, because I'm just backtesting. But this type of trade is high probability because there's a lot of room on the sell side or discount side of the range. We have reached a high point. We've collected a daily high. Price can continue moving higher for sure. And today is Monday, the 7th of February. So that would entail that there's a speech at 10:45 a.m. On Tuesday, there's no news. The most expansive day would be Thursday and Wednesday. Friday, not so much. So the most expansive days, weekly profile wise, would be Thursday and Wednesday for this week right here, which would be here, Wednesday, and Thursday next to it. So placing the higher of the day into this gap, or even here, would be very logical and makes sense for price to keep expanding down further on Wednesday and Thursday. However, we can try and place that bet now here and place the bet that price can expand down lower on Monday. I don't trade Mondays much or at all. If I do, I don't aim for much. So anyways, highlighting the 4-hour gap, we have already rebalanced most of it. Have we went past 2 a.m. of London? Yes, we have. Have we collected Tokyo's liquidity? Yes, we have. We have also tapped into a 5-minute gap, which is just little side extra detail. Excuse me. On the swing high, we have this gap which we would like to see get disrespected. I'm gonna skip forward just a tiny bit. Hopefully I can. Yes, I can. That's just about to get disrespected. There we go. And then the entry would typically be within this gap. If this gap does not get reached, we will take the next one. So this is the 5-minute gap right here. Hopefully it gets reached into. If there isn't a gap, we don't take a trade. There's a second one right there. Okay, well, at this point, price has already delivered the target that I called out. As you can tell, 4-hour gap to 4-hour gap. Entry does not get met. It does get met here, but the stage part does not deliver, which is this huge gap. On the 1 minute, this would have been a confirmation. On the 5 minute, the stage does not show. The retracement into the gap does. I guess it depends on the context. I'm not too sure, but the gap to gap theory does show itself in display. Anyways, let's see what we get. This is during the end of London, actually. So we could see a New York retracement. The best spot would obviously be above 50%, which in this case is here. And above that, we have this gap, which we'd be interested in. We're still at the end of London. Is that New York? No, the end of London. Nearly London lunch. I'm sure that that gap will get reached. I'm very sure. If it doesn't, then fair enough. Okay, so now we are in the gap that we are interested in trading off of. Price has moved away a lot. This is typically very early into New York, so like I said, you want to ignore the first hour because that's the manipulative phase typically. Let's check the context of the higher time frame so we can make sure that we're taking a higher probability setup. So we have not hit, on this chart anyways, we have not hit the gap that we were aiming for. I'm not sure if we have on other brokers. I can't, that's the downside of backtesting, you can't really tell. But we've come back into the same gap after this one failed to displace down a lot. On the daily, we've taken out the previous day low, obviously. This one has taken out the buy side liquidity here, and now we are trying to deliver down further. So like I showed you, Monday is not one of the expansive days. It will likely be Wednesday or Thursday, and that's where the weekly profile will likely play out. So that would mean from this day, which is Friday, onto the next week, Monday, Tuesday will expand down further, likely, very likely. And at the moment, we've got a retracement on New York. This is not the highest probability setup, but you can take this, and I'll just take it to showcase to you what you're supposed to be doing regardless of the outcome. It's short position. The entry obviously will be at the current price point, which is at the middle of the gap, and the stop loss will be my stop loss typically is maximum 11 pips, but based on context you can adjust that. So for example, the gap is that big, I've placed it above the gap. I've got to go. Thank you for doing these live streams and hope you have a great day. Thank you for popping by. Have a nice day as well. So the gap is there on the daily. There isn't a gap above. Well, obviously there is, but I need to see that actually. I do need to see that on the daily time frame. Give me a sec. It's allowing me to see it. Why isn't it showing up? Or is it? Right. I might do. Damn. All good. So yeah, the logic is that if price comes above that point, we do not want to be in the market. We want to be stopped out. And the target is obviously just, like I've said to you before, you want to place your take profit if you're targeting the 4-hour, the 4-hour gap. You want to place it just under or just above, because things like this can happen. I'll do 9.5. It's 3.4 pips above the fair value gap end, and the retracement, which I've usually got in my data, is 3 pips or 5 pips. This gap is already 5 pips here anyways, so this could work out, could not. I'm just taking my trade based on data. The easiest trade target here would be something like one of these gaps. We obviously have a lot of room to push down, so we could target up to down here. I will target the middle of this gap, 15 minute. It's a 1 to 1.6 RR trade, and the stop loss is quite tight, and this is just to showcase what you should consider doing when a gap gets created. Doesn't mean the trade will work, it doesn't guarantee the outcome, but this is the mindset you should approach these trades with and how the analysis should be conducted. 0.5% risk. Place the trade. That's minus 500. Now we can play it out. We hold the trade regardless. And this is where it's likely to stop me out. We are at the beginning of New York, and that's where manipulation will take place. There you go. And that's fine. Like I've said to you, want to wait for the first hour of New York, which, as you can tell, there's the manipulation, and then this is likely to push down further. The reason why I took it is because I'm just trying to show you what you're supposed to do. I don't take trades like this myself. Oh, well, the take profit has already been here. I was waiting for the 4-hour gap. I don't know if the gap will get reached or not. We never know, but let's see. New York is wavy. Wow. But yeah, the reason why I got stopped out there, because like I've explained in my videos and like I've said to you guys, you want to wait for the first hour of New York, the first hour of London to push away or move away, like play out. In this case, I did not. And like I said, I'm just going to take it to show you the trade. If you did wait for that to happen and you waited for this displacement and then took an entry, well, the gap does not get reached, took an entry here, potentially, or even within this area, if you're trading the 1 minute, that would be the same model, the same entry, the same setup, everything. So let's see if this plays out again. A lot of manipulation. Interesting. Yeah, so price does tend to fluctuate between 4 hour a lot. And like I said, this is still Monday, so the expansive phase will more than likely occur either at the end of Monday or towards Wednesday and Thursday, right? That's where the most room is and that's where the most volatility is. So we could move further ahead just to see that. But yeah, the target, the take profit gets hit again. The stop loss would have been safe if you waited for the first hour of New York. Would that be a unicorn model at 7 to 8? Unicorn model, I've heard of it. I know ICT came up with that monstrosity, but I think unicorn model is just a gap. It's again a gap. Same with market maker model, same with everything else. It's just a gap again where it comes back into a gap. I think you're referring to this from my understanding, my brief understanding of the unicorn model, but yeah, I think it's just a gap regardless. So the main takeaway from that trade is wait for the first hour of London, which would have to be, oh, am I too far ahead? No, which would have to be just here. We set the high of the day for that moment, or at least, sorry, we set the high of the day, which was fake in this case, and then we try to trade away from that because we didn't get a retracement in New York. We tried to trade away from that during New York after the first hour, which was 7 here, 7 to 8 a.m. Actually perfect. The first hour manipulated. Then we got a displacement down. A retracement did attempt to happen, but it did not fully. And then we got a full retracement into this gap, the other one, which would have been a great entry. And then the take profit that I set for you guys did get hit. You want to set your take profits to easy targets like that because sometimes these targets here do not get reached, like I said. This 4 hour gap will more than likely, I mean, if I push forward, it will more than likely get tapped into. But like I've said to you guys, it's a different skill to be able to predict the market and actually trade it. So for example, I can predict that the market will want to go there or will likely want to go there, but taking a trade between such a scenario is not easy because what, this is 26 pips. It's not an easy move for Monday with what, what's the date, sorry, 7th Monday, which has barely any news. It's not an easy move, so you want to consider such stuff, right? So where was I? Yeah, the target has been hit already. I think I can go back to the deleted. Maybe not. If it shows up, that'd be great. There we go. So yeah, the take profit got hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times with separate entries. The stop loss did not get hit, specifically after the first hour of the manipulation. And what I'm teaching you is the first hour of the manipulation and all of those things to keep in mind are just high probability scenarios. So what I mean is, for example, if you risk 0.5, you are automatically putting yourself in a high probability situation of being able to protect your capital, right? If you wait for such manipulation, you are putting yourself in a high probability situation of being able to trade the expansion and stuff like that. Trading is about probabilities and not predicting, it's only anticipating. So in this case, after everything that played out, if you've taken any notes, if you haven't, that's totally fine. But I want to show you that price will likely, well, let me check actually if there's anything new. Price will likely bounce forward and backwards between those two gaps. That's what it tends to do, likely anyways. But as you can tell, although we haven't fully reached it, there is something going on between 2 price points. And what are those price points? Gap, 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 gap. And there's something going on there. And if you were to rationalize it and do it properly, this is what I would tell you to do. Use gaps. So let's see what happens next. This is currently PM session of New York, so I don't trade during that. It's very risky. Oh, would you look at that? We're going back into the same beautiful gap. and we've tapped it. This time we might displace through it. We'll see. We actually are about to get a displacement down. This could be a what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th entry onto the same gap, potentially anyways. We are consolidating. That's never good news. Let's just play it out like this. How about that? Back into the same gap. Takes out that high. We are struggling to push down, so at this moment you'd want to be safe. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Take that back. This is a full-on displacement of this gap here. However, with the context of collecting this sell side liquidity, you want to be careful because we still have this imbalance, the gap on the top. Is the 5 minute your only time frame to enter your trades on? Yes. So I've entered on 15 minute and I can, but can you take us one day, take us step by step? Yeah, I've said this many times. I mean, I can keep doing it and I will, especially when I teach people privately. But in my videos, I teach that. I teach everything in my videos, literally everything in the first few videos. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4, no, the first 3, sorry, teach my theory and model step by step. Like everything that I do, everything that I look for, step by step. And if you think there's something that I don't teach in those videos that I actually do, then that's not the case. I promise you. Everything I do is in those videos. Extra stuff that I might do, I'm teaching you here. And what to keep in mind, but everything about my model is here. Every single thing, absolutely everything. 5 minute is my main one. Yes, I have traded the 15 minute. It depends on your context and the backtesting data, like I've said before. My data is for the 5 minute. Clearly, this is entry 5 minute. This is stage 5 minute. I think there's no. That's it. Yes. So the stage and entry is for the 5 minute. That's what my data is collected from, and that's why I trade off of, or that's why I trade with the data that I've got. So. Yeah, we have a 5 minute disrespect. This is during PM. This is 6 p.m. I believe we've had such things happen before. Let's see. Yeah, 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 2 p.m. Yeah, so those things happen. They're not the most volatile, but they can happen. Excuse me. So, yeah, we've had a disrespect here. We have had. I'm losing it. We have had a collection of sell side liquidity, but also buy side liquidity up here. The context on the higher time frame is that we are actually displacing away from a 1 hour gap here. On the 4 hour, we have not reached anything, so that 1 hour might be irrelevant. We are on the premium 4 hour gap that we are trying to displace away from. On the daily, we haven't tapped into anything at all. And I wish I could go on the weekly because there would be something for sure, 100%. But yeah, so the bet is now that we are going from premium to discount. We can displace down. We already have tried to do that. Market is clearly showing signs of wanting to displace down further. The model is about to show itself again. I would take a trade here, but it's not the safest spot again because it's PM. I'm just going to do it for the sake of showing you execution wise. I don't take these trades, like I said. What you want to do is trade off of the middle of the gap. In this case, I'm just going to trade this one, which again is not the perfect entry. It's not my type of entry. Maximum 11 pips stop loss. It would be the safest at the top of this gap, which is 10 pips. A 1 to 2 would be 20 pips, which is fine. And then targeting, what is this? This is 0.68. This is not a great trade, by the way. Just letting you know, like I said, we'd be targeting, well, once again, the opposite end fair value gap, which is the actual model itself. In this case, I'll just do it for the sake of the video, or the live stream rather. So we'll take this trade again. I don't guarantee any wins or losses. That's not to avoid responsibility. That's just because I'm not trying to trade. I'm not in the zone. I'm not in the mindset of trading, right? I check the news. There's not much volatility. This is backtesting, but this is how you would trade. The gap gets created after a displacement. The displacement happens even through here and through here, but that's the main one because it's a cleaner gap. We get a retracement and we'll see if this plays out, if not or not. You have to understand the losing streaks are part of any model. Every single model has losing streaks. I know some very high probability models that show at least 10 pips, 10 trades or 20 trades of... Oh, wow. Would you look at that? That's crazy. I know a lot of models that show a high win rate, but Oh yeah, by the way, at this point I got stopped out, which I guess 11 pips would have been literally on the dot. Perfect. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, during this phase right here, you'd reduce your risk. So once we've created a gap like this, we've broken away, we've also taken out this low, I'd put my risk to 0.25%, not break even, because there's still room to rebalance. Price could still need room to breathe and come back. And if we check, this is during Monday still, we'd be holding this throughout the day or for overnight. I don't typically do such thing. Here we go. At this point, we've created multiple gaps. We've broken down a lot further. So I put my stop loss to break even. This is a free trade. And boom. I mean, guys, look, I know I got stopped out once and I got stopped out twice. And the reason is, like I explained, is because these trades are not high probability when it comes to the stop loss placement and everything. But the delivery of price occurs just like that. The same exact way. It's the same exact targets, the same exact entries, everything. The entry showed itself just there. We did get a huge drawdown retracement, which isn't common, like you can see with my data. The typical drawdown retracement in pips will be 1.3, 7 pips, 5 pips, 3 pips, 2.3 pips. And in this case, it was actually from here to up there. It's 11 pips on the dot, which is my maximum stop loss. And it happens. That's totally fine. It happens. It really does. On the 50-minute, I don't know if it would have been a cleaner trade at all. I don't think so. No, I don't believe so. But maybe if on the 5-minute, like I said, I had to enter here because I don't have a choice really with backtesting. I can't really enter exactly where I want to because of the way that it plays out. The actual, if I was to break this down, the way that I would have traded it on a real account would be, like I've said, 50% of the fair value gap, which is here. Short position just there. Maximum 11 pips, which would be just there, 11 pips, and that would be the most, the last resort outcome really. And stop loss is safe just by a pip, but there's a reason to why I've said 11 pips, and obviously it's based on data, so that's where it would be the safest, with a 50% entry on fair value gap. And the target, like I said, would be the just under 4 hour, I think. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it was the low of this candle, which was just under, well, above the 4 hour gap. This gap will more than likely get reached, like I told you earlier. Let me showcase to you that happening potentially. There you go. So yeah, it's not easy for me to take trades and showcase you the model working, mainly because I do that best on a live scenario. Specifically talking about trading, it's also hard to trade a model in a disciplined way yourself and also tell other people to do it, because when people go in a losing streak or take losses, they think the model doesn't work instantly, when that's not the case, because it works a lot more than it doesn't. Trust me, a lot more. I think I've got other data here as well. It works a lot more than you think, way more than you think. And the few times that it doesn't, I will maybe go into 1% drawdown, 2%, 3%, let's say 3%. And then the times that it does work, I can make that back in 3 or 4 trades, which is just how the market works. So again, 4 hour delivery from premium to discount, the same thing, repeated. This is on the Monday, 7th of February, 2022. Let me check what EURUSD is doing. We are actually wicking away a little bit, hopefully. So there is actually a trade potential here. We are in discount, like I said. On the 4 hour, there's more room to push down, which would be ideal, and that would entail to having to take multiple trades potentially, but that's totally fine. So there's a 4 hour gap there. How many trades do you get a week on average? I mean, sometimes it's been every single day. Like personally, when I trade live, right? I can show you here on the day. Oh, I closed it. Why have I closed it? Sometimes you get every single day. That's not the case with every single model. People that will tell you, my model is showing up right now, by the way, so I need to be careful, but that's not the case with every single model, but often it shows every single day just because of the way that it delivers and what it delivers. Liquidity, 4-hour gaps, they get created all the time. I'm trying to show you something. So yeah, here, for example, just an example, you've got 3rd of January, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th, and then 1 week later, 17th, 17th, and then 3 days later, I believe. Yeah, 21st, and then 3 days later, 24th, 2 days later, 26th, 28th, 31st. This is where it happens. And that's just an example. It happens on an average, I'd say minimum once, obviously, and then often twice, sometimes 3 times, and rarely 4 times a week. That's my opinion. Just stretching. But the thing is that when I say multiple times, it also happens within the same session, the same day. So it's not just one day or second day, third day. It can happen twice in a day. So right now we've actually seen a disrespect here. This is a very easy buy at the moment. I've already missed it, but where I would trade, like I've said before, is after a disrespect of the gap and a retracement generally if a gap is not offered. In this case, we've swept Tokyo's liquidity. This could be a potential low of the day for EURUSD. Let me just double check again the news for 8th of May. Oh, we are very far ahead. Far down, sorry. 8th of May. Yeah, today we only got news at 1 p.m. Price is not likely to move that much, but if it does, then we can capture a little bit of pips. A few pips. The gap we'd be targeting potentially is that's the 4-hour one. And then on the 1 hour, we also have this one here. There's also one here. There's buy side liquidity there. And we want to keep all of those in mind, just potentially for shaving, for reducing your risk. Does it work on all markets? Yes, it does. It works with every market because they're intercorrelated. They're all correlated and they all have the same logic, which is fair value and liquidity. Said that before. Loving the model, by the way. Thank you. I don't know if I've explained before, but I just stumbled across it and I'm still working on it. It's still under progress, but it's very effective. It's helped me so much. I was in 4% drawdown and currently I'm a break even with my challenge, and I've made, well, 1%, minus 1%, and I've made 3% just from taking proper trades with this challenge. And before, I would trade different things, which was, like I've explained, quantitative trading, news release trading, and it would be high risk profiles. But now I'm taking the professional route. I'm trying to build my track record. I'm trying to reduce my risk. I'm trying to be disciplined. And this is the way that I've developed myself. It was just purely through data, and I stumbled across it. So it works. It really does work, and I'm very glad. It's something I found myself. I've mixed in a couple of logics and mindsets from a mentor of mine, but that's pretty much it. This is purely from my backtesting data. So what has happened, guys? Tokyo has consolidated. London within the first hour, which is 2 a.m, has set a high and manipulated, but it also came back within the next hour as well, which can happen and take out Tokyo's liquidity again. This could be a retracement to push down further, but in the context of where we are now, we are in discount, so we'd be favoring longs only. On the 5-minute, we received a displacement through this gap right here, which is through this gap right there. And then actually the entry got offered already, which is sad. This is an entry, by the way, right there. It just comes with experience when you realize that this is an entry. Excuse me. Just about there would be my entry. The stop loss would be the same as always. 11 pips max. In this case, the 4-hour gap has already been fully rebalanced and disrespected, so we'd place it anywhere safely. For example, on the 1 hour, let's see if there's anything. There's a gap there which could be rebalanced, so let's keep that in mind. It's not. God damn it. What is this music, man? I can't find good music. My last stream got copyright striked apparently, which was very baffling because I was using non-copyrighted music, at least that I thought of. Yeah, so this is a relatively safe spot for a stop loss. We could put it at the very end of it, really, which is just, oh, excuse me, just there. That would be too tight, 4 pips. I'll do 6. And based on my data, where is it? Closed it again. Right, just forget it. We've already got the entry. We've already got the displacement. We've already got the 4-hour gap. The next 4-hour gap would be this one, I believe, which has been disrespected. So we can close this at the moment. It's an inverted gap, I guess, at this point. Is this a one? Yeah, that's a 1 hour. We'll name it. Where the hell is it? I don't know why TraderView keeps doing this. Like stuttering. I think you guys can see it. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's never done that for me before. Like, why? Why are you doing that? I don't get it. Right, this is the 1 hour. That's the 4 hour. I already know this, but I'll label it. Weird. Very weird. We've got 17 people in here. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. The easiest target would obviously be this. And my rule is typically that you want to target a 1 to 1 hour minimum. If you want to target more, then reduce your risk as soon as you can. The 1 to 1 hour would be safest right here. This would be a very easy 0.5% trade right there. The retracement has already happened. The trade has already occurred. There isn't a gap. So I'd be waiting for a deeper retracement if I'm taking a better trade at the moment, but the move has already happened, so we want to be careful. I am bullish London at the moment after taking out Tokyo's low. I am bullish on London expanding. We don't have any news until 1 p.m. UTC, which is New York. As I said, this could be a retracement, a bearish retracement to push down further, but based on context, this is a higher probability that it will continue going up. And that's what we trade off of, not anything else. The 4-hour gap is here. Keep that in mind. I would say this stop loss is not even needed, to be fair, that big, but it's fine. And this take profit is very small, but it's safe. And that's where you want to be in trading, safe. We've also taken out the previous 1 hour candle low, and there's lows here as well into a gap. We've already hit this gap here, which could be a problem. When we're working with tight ranges like this, it's very difficult to trade. Like the high probability trades come from like stuff like this. Like when this candle goes into this candle here, you best know that because there is not much on the left besides this, and further down this gap, it's a high probability trade, which is at 3 p.m. unfortunately. But in this case, we have a gap that's been hit. Oh, I just moved it. A gap that's been hit here. And the next opposing 1 hour gap is right next to it, which is pretty crap. And you want to be careful of stuff like that. Because you'll get moves like this, and they can stop you out. Especially if you're break even. So this is a 6 pips for 6 pip. 1 to 1. Nothing special. It's just the model somewhat playing out. On the daily, we are still trying to deliver to this gap further down. We have reached 0.5% of it, like I've shown you, 50%, which is this. We've reached all the way down to 70. And this could be a Wednesday weekly profile, reversal profile. We just have to wait and be patient, really. Hopefully the rest of London expands up. Oops. Ooh, at this point, there's not much to do besides be patient, really, and just take the trade, plan the trade, Trade the plan, really. Regardless of the outcome, don't attach yourself to the money, don't attach yourself to the result, don't attach yourself to the profit. Attach yourself to the execution, attach yourself to data, attach yourself to probabilities, and just understand that you can't control what will happen, you can only control what you can do, and trade high probabilities. That's it. I will continue to collect data on my model and come up with hard data like conclusions. I already have some, but the more I get, the easier it will be to trade this model, obviously. And then at some point I'll have very specific criteria which will give the highest probabilities for the trade, which will be the only trades I'll take. And when that happens, you'll see me take these trades a lot more often, and I'll talk about them. 171 members on the Discord server. Wow. I remember just a week ago we had like 50. That is crazy. I'm on London. This is live, by the way. This is EURUSD live. But yeah, let's just keep recapping. We are in discount at the moment of the range. We've hit a 4-hour gap, which we have disrespected, but that does happen. Although it gets disrespected, we can get a move away from it, like it's happened before. You guys have seen it yourself. I've shown you myself. I've shown you the data for it. There is a gap below, deeper in discount, which would be a better buy. But at the moment, we are currently in this one, so you could get a small buy like this, for example, like I'm trying to showcase to you. I have not entered this. I was not able to. The entry did meet again. I could actually enter here, but I'm not going to. I'm just showing you the model playing out. If it does. And if it doesn't, you can unsubscribe and call me a fraud, I guess. But yeah, I'm explaining to you how you should think whilst the model is potentially playing out. I'm not telling you what it will do. I'm not telling you what it will, result into. I'm not telling you what will happen, what won't happen. What I'm telling you is how to think, which is in probabilities. From the data that we've got past the beginning of London, you get the manipulative phase, which in this case was this low being put into the 4-hour gap. We've got a tiny displacement. On the 50-minute, you can there's not really a displacement on the 50-minute. It's not clear whatsoever, and you want to wait for clear setups like that. But on the 5-minute, there is. The retracement has already happened. We are now still trying to push away. At this moment, you'd be in profit, a very tiny amount. I'm just waiting for a gap to get created so we can place stop loss to break even instantly. Oh, new 5-minute candle. Let's see. The 1-hour candle has 5 minutes left in it. That would make me think that the next 1-hour candle will have, in the next 5 minutes, would have a higher probability chance of expanding up. So let's see, guys. This is the reality of trading. When you have a model and you expect something or anticipate something from it, you just take it and you wait. You just have to be patient after that. After obviously you've gathered all the context and you've done all the analysis you could. There's no news today, so price may not push how we wanted to instantly. The news at 1 PM, which are not relevant or as much. But as you can tell, there's clearly something going on there. After the 4-hour gap gets hit, displacement through this gap, retracement, we can see it move. And it's clear, it's obvious, right? The reason being is because of the 4-hour gap, the higher time frame context, and so on. Trading requires a lot of patience. Yep, not only that, you also need to be dedicated almost delusionally to one model. What I mean by that is that although you guys saw me take 2 small losses, 0.5s on the backtesting software, that does not mean that the model doesn't work. That does not mean that what I teach doesn't work. That does not mean that I won't be able to trade that and, you know, take profit next time I trade it. Right here, it's occurring at the moment and it could work out. Or it could be the 3rd loss and it's a losing streak. But like I said, it's still under development and it has worked more times than it hasn't so far for me personally. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm bluffing or... I'm happy to see that I have plotted my charts like yours, but my take profit is a bit high on the 4-hour gap. Hi, bro. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So the 4-hour gap you're targeting is up here, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But like I said, keep in mind that today there's no news and we are in Wednesday, so it could reverse, but the most expansive day would be Thursday, I believe. Thursday has the most news. You'd want to wait after 1:30, clearly right there. 8:30, sorry, New York time. And today may reach up there, it may not. That's why I'm targeting a very low take profit, which is this one right here. I'm not taking this trade. You guys can if you want. I'm not taking it simply because the time aspect of price is not colliding or aligning with the model. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps out the channel. Everything I post is for free. If you know people that would like to watch my video, share it with them. I don't charge anything. In the future, I will be announcing my coaching program or coaching website. I am considering doing it different ways. I'm not too sure how because I've never really done one, but yeah, that will be in the future. Everything at the moment is completely free. The things I teach, I've spent years trying to gather and conclude into a summary or a model and a mindset, I guess. This is what I've come up with the most. And I'm still a work in progress when it comes to this model, but the model itself is not. What I mean by that is that some of you can get better than me at trading this model. Some of you might be able to trade this model a lot better than I do. And that's perfectly fine. That's what I actually want. I want you guys to trade better than me. And a lot of mentors say that. A lot of gurus and furus say that. But I actually mean it because here's my mindset. I don't care if you do better than me. I don't mind if you do worse than me. There's always a solution if you do worse than me. And there's always room for me to do better even if you do better than me. If I give this model to 1,000 people, 100,000 people, the market does not change. It will do the same things again. If I teach this thing and these things I'm teaching to 1 million people, how many of those people will have $1 million? How many of those people will have $100 million? Oh, this is a new 1-hour candle, by the way. Here we go. Like I said, I expect this candle to expand up. Target liquidity up here. There is a gap over there, so we have to be careful. I placed the take profit just under it to be safe. That's the safe spot. We will see. We will see what happens. It tends to be volatile within the first few minutes of the 1-hour candle. So we'll see. We'll see. Give me 1 second. I'm not even looking at the chart right now. Sorry. I apologize. But yeah, as I was saying, if you have anybody you'd like to recommend... Oh my god, the golden ratio, 100% win rate strategy. Look at that, guys. W's in the chat. We're about to get rich. Oh, that's such bullcrap. Everybody, lot size 20. Full port. Please don't. Please don't. I'm being serious. Please don't. I was joking. Please. Don't do that. I bet if I talk like that though and I tell people to do stuff like that, I'll get more viewers, and I don't want to. I'm not interested in that at all. Everybody full port, $1 million. So at this moment, count me in dollars. At this moment, we've taken our 5-minute high. I would reduce my risk to 0.25, which would be halfway of, oh, let me do that again, which would be halfway of 6 pips. That would be 3. I know it's a tight stop loss, but it's just the rules. We have to trade the rules, guys. So 3 pips would be right there. Price could come back, price cannot. It's up to price itself. I'm just executing the model. Remember and take notes of what I'm telling you. I'm just executing the model. That's what I have control over, nothing else. So I've reduced my risk. This would entail that I'm risking now $250 instead of 500. And in the long term, that's me preserving my capital and protecting it. So that's very, very good. That's a good chance to be able to protect your capital. This 5-minute candle closes in 2 minutes, and I will put that stop loss into break even once it closes. The reason why is because I will be able to see whether this candle closes properly or there's a retracement. If there's a retracement, I'll keep some room for price to breathe and I'll gladly take a loss. If there is a retracement and the candle closes, like, let's say here or even here, if it closes between that point, just logically in the next 2 minutes, I'll put my stop loss to break even. However, the take profit right now might get hit before the next 2 minutes anyways. So guys, I know the enigma. Anyone want to know this works each and every effing time on Forex and indices? You do not know crap, my friend. I can guarantee you. You do not know anything. I apologize, but there is no enigma. There is no secret. The market had never had a secret, and it never will. Because if it was a secret, it would never get out. I'll tell you that much. I've studied system social engineering. I've studied the elites. I've studied central banking. I've studied industry giants. I've studied the system, Federal Bank Reserve, the system of Federal Reserve, and the system of central banking. And there's a lot of trickery and manipulation in those industries itself. And I can guarantee you that there's no such thing in the financial markets, at least price action. There is macroeconomically and generally with events, and I should be careful with what I say here, but oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. There is such things like enigma and manipulation with events macroeconomically, like wars and stuff, but that's irrelevant to price action. That's irrelevant to fair value. There is no enigma. 30 seconds. Everybody place your lot size 10s. Make sure you buy and sell at the same time. Withdraw your savings. Give it to me and I'll give you a PDF course for free. I mean, for 20k, $20. 8 seconds. 3 seconds. 1 second. Okay, that's fair enough. I'll put the stop loss to break even. So at this point, I'll put the stop loss to break even. There is room for price to come and rebalance, but that's fair enough. It's just under the points of which I highlighted. So at this point, we are in a break even trade. We're already in profit, so you can shave if you want. The market would slap anyone in the face who thinks they hold the holy grail of enigma. I love that there's people like that watching my videos. Like the fact that you just said that. Yes, that's exactly it, my friend. Good job. That's facts. That's a fact. When you think the market will do something, just wait until it actually does what it wants, and you'll see how wrong you were. Jesse Livermore talked about that all the time, and Jesse Livermore is a trading legend. Jesse was so dedicated and invested into the industry and trading itself that he lost his mind. He ended up committing suicide. It's a very long story, right? And he would explain how, oh, you've got expectations, keep them. You wait and watch how the market will do what it wants, regardless of your expectations. The market does whatever it wants. It doesn't care about your model, your strategy, your entry, your stop loss, your take profit, your data ranges, your golden ratio, your order blocks, your rejection blocks, nothing. It's just pure logic. In this case, we are reversing. My end up taking a break-even trade, but that's better than a loss, obviously. Sometimes price will push up a lot higher. Sometimes it will just hit take profit instantly. Sometimes it will take hours. Check Nasdaq. Let's see. Oh, go on then. Trading View. Trading View's breakdancing right now. Lovely. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It has never done that for me. This is stupid. Are you done? Yeah, it is done. Okay. No, it's not done. I apologize. I really don't know why it's doing this. It never does that to me. Nasdaq. What's Nasdaq doing? Nasdaq is still in premium on multiple ranges. On the main big one, we are still in premium. The most recent high would be this one. So this is wrong at the moment. Here we go. Yeah, we're still in premium. We are at 79%. The OTE max. Is there a 4-hour gap here? Of course there is. When is there not? When is there not? Here we go. We are in this gap. We've fully rebalanced it, actually. And potentially you could wait for bearishness. Yeah, there's not much to see. We're in the same location we were yesterday, kind of. Come on. I know you want to expand up. You just want to fluctuate. You want to go up and down like you were going like on the backtesting session. Come on. I'm not in a trade, by the way. This is just me showing you the model working. There isn't a gap. There is a displacement through a gap. There is a 4-hour gap we're trading away from. There is a retracement generally, twice actually, once and twice. And you want to pick, and let me explain to you why I say you don't need a gap on the 5-minute, because look, I'm just gonna do this really quick. Right here in this location, I guarantee there will be a 1-minute gap. Watch. There you go. There's one right. Oh, well, there's not that big. There's one right there. It's a very tiny one, but it works. A gap is a gap, but you can tell there's retracements clearly into it. 1, 2, right? And in that location on the 5-minute, there isn't one. Right here. But that's perfectly fine because it's a retracement, and retracements are to offer fair value, to offer traders to bounce into the market back again. The take profit is officially not even a pip away. So if you wanted to close it, you could, but my rules imply that I must take a 1-to-1. If I'm taking a win, it has to be $500 minimum, which is 0.5. That's my rules anyways. You can have different ones. We're waiting for price to stop being what's the term? Spoiled. Like a spoiled kid. It seems like we might take a break-even trade, and that's perfectly fine, especially on a Wednesday with no news. I will have to stop streaming at 2 hours because I need to record a video. Give me 1 sec. Oh, EURUSD has changed its mind, for the moment, at least. And that's the summary of what I was talking about earlier. That the market will do whatever it wants. Oh, now it's changing its mind again during this 5-minute candle. We just have to be patient. I'll stop us at break even. We're fine. need to check something. I've still got my chart open here for you guys to look at the trade that we're taking. We're losing viewers, but that's perfectly fine. For the people that are watching the model play out and taking notes of what I've said, I hope it's helped you. This is not much different. It's the same thing that I trade all the time. Personally, when I was mentored by somebody and had other people help me, I was not taught their model step by step in detail. I'm giving it to you guys because I don't mind. And for those who are taking notes and backtesting this and collecting data, good. Keep doing that. Let me just check something really quick on the other screen. Okay, here you go. Come on. I don't have all day. Apparently I've backtested 19 trades. Oh. Crazy. I'm trying to use every feature of Trader Casa at the moment. They've got very cool features. I'm trying to utilize them right now in the background. But yeah, for people that are watching, I seriously recommend Traders Casa. I'm one of the first affiliates for them. The reason why I wanted to work with them is because they have a software for backtesting completely free. There's a paid version which is optional, but oh, there we go. Beautiful. They have a paid version, but the free version is the only free version that you could possibly get. Welcome to the 5 new viewers. Oh my god, we are rolling in views right now. Maybe I'll get some sort of payback for the free content. I'm joking. For the people that have not caught up, I'm just showing the model playing out. I'm not trading this. I'm also doing something in the background in relating to the software that I use, the backtesting software. But this is a 4-hour gap. We've had a displacement through the gap, the same bread and butter that I teach. A retracement, which was not into the 5-minute gap, but there is a 1-minute gap there. A second retracement, which you could have entered, and I should have actually, but I didn't, and that's perfectly fine. And we are targeting just this 1-hour candle high, which is below the 1-hour gap right here. This 1-hour gap has been fully rebalanced, but there's signs the price might want to continue up higher. There's also a 4-hour gap. And the context is that we are in discount beautifully. And if you do remember from yesterday, I said that this is the point which you would want to look for buys, typically. That's the best sweet spot. Especially if you manage your trade like this, it's the safest and the best spot to look for buys. Oh, would you look at that, guys? The market is childish once again. If this trade hits break even, I'm going to retire from trading. I'm going to give up, fully quit, and I'm going to switch model strategy if I ever come back. I'm going to trade the golden bullet. I should make that a new term, the golden bullet, and package it into PDFs and sell it. Oh, I'm so tired, guys. I'm very tired. I've also got to go to the gym, hopefully today. I've got a couple of messages to reply to in the Telegram. I've got a couple of messages to reply to. I do want to backtest myself, collect more data. I haven't been doing that as much as I should. I have a video I'm recording, which I'll actually give you a sneak peek into if I can. I'll do that. Yep, here we go. So I'm making this at the moment. I'll show you just this, nothing else. That's the next video I'm going to be making. Oh! Lot size 10. Full port. Lot size 20. Order field. Lot size 50. Go big or go home. Is anyone trading this? Has anyone been trading this? I think someone was, and they're targeting the 4-hour high. Or the 4-hour gap, sorry. In that case, manage your risk and just let it run. Just be careful because there's no news, like I said to you. There's news at 1 p.m. Oh! That's literally like 0.2 pips. 0.1. Come on. Come on. Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh, EURUSD and I have a love and hate relationship. It's 0 pips. It's literally 0 pips. 0.1. Oh, that's funny. I believe it could come back up, but it's literally 0 pips. Almost 0.1. Whoa. God damn it. Can I use sounds? Oh, I can. Oh, we're coming back. We're back, baby. You are trading and targeting 7531. 7531. Yeah, that seems reasonable. That seems very reasonable. Nice. That's the middle of the 1 hour gap though, so keep in mind, manage your risk. Manage your risk. Be very strict with your risk. If you are considering of lowering your risk and you're considering taking a loss, consider it very quickly. If you're considering taking a profit and closing your trade or taking your wins, consider it very slowly. That's how you should think. Always. Never act quickly when you're in profit and never act quickly, slowly when you're in a loss, essentially. Or when you consider of closing a trade. Come on. I know this is going to go back. I can just tell from the way the market's moving. It's more than likely they will continue up higher. Come on. Guys, my take profit has pretty much basically been hit. It's just 0.1 pip away. That's crazy. True. Yeah. It's very true. Because in the long term, you'll thank yourself. Come on. Oh, here we go. New candle. However, this last one has wicked and there's not much we're wicking away from, to be honest, so we'll see. We're pretty good. We're pretty good for the moment. Break even stop loss, we're fine. Anything could happen though. Oh my god, what is the market doing? Euro, what are you doing, mate? Yeah, so I can easily see this getting taken out and then back down. Oh, 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 oh. We're back at it. Yeah, it hit. Nice. We did it. So yeah, that's a safe spot for the take profit. The logic is just being safe when it comes to the fact that there's no news today and it's Wednesday. Like I said, 8th of May. The news is at 1 p.m. We are currently at 5 a.m. So we still have like 8 hours until that. So we want to take trades like this, be very careful with it. W in the chats. Yep. But yeah, well managed trade. 0.5. It would have been a win if I took it, but I'm focused on streaming lately. I haven't been trading much lately. The last few trades I've taken have been wins, which I'm grateful for. And the losses I've taken on this model were small, 0.4s. This would have been a 0.5. It is what it is, though. It's okay. I'm considering risking 1% lately, just for the sake of completing my challenge and moving forward. That'll come with time, I believe. That'll really come with time. Whoever is targeting... what was it? 7531. 7531. We will highlight the target here for you. That is the middle of the 1 hour gap, so be careful. Like I said, price is likely to retrace right now. But we will see. Take profit has already hit, so there's not much for me to talk about here at this moment, to be honest. I do need to reply to some messages so we can keep monitoring and tape reading. I'm just gonna do what I just said. Give me a sec. Where else? I think people have messaged on Telegram. Let me just... What are your favorite time frames? Like I've said, 4 hour, 5 minute. I use other times as well, but the 4 hour and the 5 minute, those are my babies. Someone's taking a trade apparently. When was this? Someone took a trade on the chat. Excuse me. I would suggest to watch the last stream and understand what I've taught you. You've taken a sell and we are in discount, my friend. That's the context factor of my model. You trade in London and New York. Well, my data shows that the model works in London more than New York, but because of my life circumstances, I can trade both at the moment. What on earth is going on? Okay, my bad. I don't know why that happens. I trade both, but I risk minimally, and I'm very strict on... Oh, there's the alert. I can't read that name. Thank you for subscribing. I should make that bigger, shouldn't I? Thank you for joining the crew, the Orderful crew. But yeah, I trade London, I trade New York. At some point I was trading New York strictly, and now I can do that even better. Back in the day, a couple of months ago, when I did trade New York only, I was trading beginning of London, end of London lunch, beginning of New York, and then end of New York as well. But now if I was to trade New York, I'd only be trading the end of it. And there's a very, very common, well-known reason for that amongst some traders. One trader, his name is Charts My DNA. He's on Twitter. He doesn't sell anything. He's just like me. He teaches everything for free, or he shows everything for free. And he trades the exact same thing. He explains how the last few minutes or hour of New York is the most highly probable. And that aligns with what I was teaching, which coincidentally aligns with what he says, the 9 a.m. reversal point. It's amongst the last few moments of New York. And that also goes hand in hand with being able to predict a candle's direction within the last few moments of... No, they're from the daily. The 4-hour context applies as well, depending on your trading style. If you trade the 1 minute, you can use the 4-hour range, but I trade the 5 minute and I use the daily range at the moment. The 4-hour range is pretty much the same if you check on the daily. Swing high, swing low. That's the most recent one. We were in premium. We pushed down. I've annotated and commentated over all of this yesterday. Oops, sorry. I also said we'd wait for this 4-hour gap here to get reached before we go longs, and now we are doing that. I know that you've messaged me on Telegram. I can see some messages. I've got a couple. There's not a lot, so I'm not saying I'll get a lot of messages. I'm saying I will reply to them. I'll reply to everything. I tried to reply to every comment. I tried to reply to every message. Just please bear with me. I've also got a life. So, yeah, take profit has been hit pretty much perfectly. The high that we use as a target did get triggered or collected. Price could continue to push further up, but like I have said to you guys throughout the entire stream, today is Wednesday. We only have news at 1 p.m. We would expect an expansion like that or a full delivery of price during times where there's news, because that's where the most order flow is coming from, the flow of orders. And if you check the Forex Factory, 8th of May, I've shown this many times, but I have to keep doing it because new people will come in the stream. EURUSD your favorite pair? Yeah, it is. I'm not sure if this is John Wick, who I've previously spoken with, or someone else on Telegram. But yeah, EURUSD is my favorite pair. I used to trade GU and EU, and I've narrowed it down to just EU itself. I sometimes use DXY. I don't often. I personally don't think you need to. Let's see what DXY is doing. Speaking of DXY. Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, so the few times I've told you guys when EURUSD goes to a gap and it disrespects it, that does not guarantee or entail that it will not give an impact or show volatility, right? For example, in this case, we are anticipating and expecting this 4-hour gap, which has been disrespected on EU, to push further up. On the 1 hour, there's a gap here as well, but here is the catch. Here is the interesting part that I just managed to highlight. On the 4-hour DXY range, which is pretty much the same, but there's just different locations of the arrays, right? Kind of, not fully. The 4-hour gap here, which is just into premium, has not been disrespected, at least just of yet. So that's interesting. That's likely why we can expect price to keep pushing down on EURUSD. Oh, up, sorry. My bad. I meant up. And where would the target be for this? Plain and simple. If TradeView allows me. Right here. That's the 4-hour gap. Typically. There's safer locations, obviously, and it depends on you, really. Like, for example, this low, this gap. Those are safer locations. I personally can see DXY moving down further. We are currently 4 a.m. So within 4 a.m. up to 7, which is just between here and, well, there really. Within this section, we can see a lot of consolidation typically, or retracement, because that's London lunch. That's what London lunch typically tends to do. That's where a lot of liquidation happens. So we'll see. We have to be patient. But I've already called down most of the price action today. My bias is the same. I can't really have a different bias, even if I wanted to, because we are in discount of EURUSD. Price will likely continue to push up. And for the person that took that trade and is targeting this high, please update us in the chats, update us in the Discord. You can put your trade in the OFC trades, OFC crew trades, or OFC crew trades. I'm so tired. You can put it in the chats of Telegram. You can put it in the channels of Discord. It's up to you. If you don't want to, that's also fine. But yeah, the take profit has been hit again, guys. That's amazing. I should sell this into PDF. Should make hundreds of Telegram videos and charge people 500 a month. Oh boy. I'm just gonna check a couple of messages. Oh, someone's honking outside of my house. 1 sec. Am I being stream sniped? Let me see. Checking the camera. There is nobody at the front of my house. Interesting. There's a couple of hopefully not swatted. Yeah. Hopefully not swatted for exposing the enigma. Am I right? Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I think I've expressed this before, but I don't like the term turtle soup. It's so stupid. Turtle soup. I think it's a mockery of the financial markets. Like, all it is just price coming into a certain location where we've expanded a lot to come back off a fair value to other traders and investors and market participants. That's it. That's literally it. That's not the absolute truth, but that's the common sense mechanical logic of the market delivery. It's not an algorithm, it's not a turtle soup, it's not a unicorn, it's not a silver bullet, it's not nothing, it's none of that rubbish. And I've said this last stream, I'll say it again, I'll say it in the next 100 streams. It's just pure logic. Fair value has existed for a very long time. Very long time. It's the fundamental concept of life. Fair value is what pushes people to do a lot of things in the financial markets, in the media in the media industry, even war in some scenarios, which I'll get into in the future. I don't want to get into that now. But fair value is a broad concept and term. Oh, this song is old. Jesus Christ. If the music that I'm playing isn't good, don't blame me. Blame Uncle YouTube, because they said I'm using copyright music last time apparently, which is just not true. I checked every song that I used and it was not copyrighted, claimed. But we'll have to settle for whatever this is for the moment. But yeah, I apologize that there's not much for me to say really. I mean, I've already said everything you kind of need to know in my videos, and there will be more coming out. I'll try to not recycle and repeat the same stuff. I'm trying to make new videos every time so you can learn new things. But you do need to keep in mind this, that it's not a new video from me, a mentor, ICT, Arjo, a market maker model guy. It's not a new model, a new video, a new strategy that will help you. Sorry, I don't know if the music is loud. It's not a new video or a new concept that will help you get profitable. It's genuinely sticking to something that you've found to work. Like, for example, this whole concept that I've given you, the 4-hour model where you tap into a gap, you wait for a disrespect, based on context and logic. If they do align, you take the trade and you execute properly with the right mindset, you risk appropriately, you manage your risk properly, and you manage your trade properly, and you cut your risk. If you do all of that and you stick to it, regardless of the outcome, that's a high probability result outcome for trading in the long term. Maybe not this week, maybe not next week, maybe not in the next 10 trades, but overall it will be. I mean, this just happened to show itself now in front of you guys on the live stream. In the last 2 backtesting trades, it was a 0.5% loss, right? And I told you, you can take losses. Losses are normal. If you take up to 5 losses in a row, I would say reflect on what you've done and check on your rules and check on what you have followed and what you haven't followed, or potentially just do deeper analysis. YouTube copyright regarding music is very confusing. You have to do it from a playlist in order not to get copyright strike. Don't know exactly how it works. Yeah, so how it works is that certain music is copyright claimed by the artist, and what they say is that if you use this music in your stream, video or content, you are essentially making money out of it potentially, especially if you're monetized. And they don't want that because they are losing money. They are losing money from the song that they've made, essentially. And YouTube supports those people. YouTube supports business owners. YouTube supports investors. YouTube supports artists. And they don't want people to use their content for free because they will lose investors and they will lose money. Which makes sense. But I literally played a playlist which was fully non-copyrighted music. It wasn't like any of the songs that played yesterday in the stream. You guys probably won't know. So I don't know. I'm not a streamer. I'm really not a streamer. So do you guys like the stuff I've, came up with there? Look at this. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Wait. Ooh. Oh god. I had to pay for that, Cost me money. Spending my time here and money for you guys. What mentor is doing that? Or what coach, rather? There's no coaches. It's just mentors. The days of Pip versus Geo. We're talking in the Telegram chat about someone very specific. Do I live in the UK? Yes, I do. I live in the UK, West Midlands, my friend. You want my postcode as well? The guys off grid. Yeah, we're talking about someone very specific. I don't know if the guys that I'm talking to, the boys, are in the chat, but back in the day, I was part of a group called Q4. They invited me in because I was doing quantitative research and analysis for them. I traded that sometimes, I sometimes didn't. I had my own thing in the background besides trading. But there was this one guy, his name was Pip Dealer, I believe. And I don't mind mentioning him, I don't care, I'm not bothered at all. But this guy would disagree with me every time I'd give macroeconomic analysis and probabilities, and he would disagree with me back to back to back. And I at first I ignored it. Bro, can you please share the order flow mastery course? Yeah, like I said, I tried to share it on Discord, but it's a huge course. It's like 40 gigabytes, like I said. Why is my chat orange? What does that even mean? Why are you guys orange? Okay. Yeah, the course is 40 gigabytes. I can try and send it to you, but it didn't send on Discord, that's for sure. I think it will reach 7531. Yeah, it could. It could. Just manage your risk. Like I said, we do not trade off of certainties. We trade off of probabilities. So, is it probable that it will reach? Yes. From data, it has reached certain targets like this before. The safest target has already been hit. I would be at a break even at the moment. I don't know what you would be at, but just manage your risk. Completely manage your risk. Excuse me. EURUSD is about to make us bankrupt, guys. That's crazy. I'm not in, just observing. How many trades you take a day? Well, I'm bouncing between 2 and 3 at the moment, maximum, but I've never taken 3 trades a day. I've taken maximum 2. Actually, I have taken 3. Okay, so it depends on what you've done previously. So if I've taken a 0.5% risk, excuse me, if I've taken a 0.5% risk and then I've managed that trade to break even, I can take another one. And then if that has led to a 0.5% risk, I can take another one alongside of that. The maximum risk per day is 1, essentially, for the moment. I've never taken three 0.5%. Someone else just joined. Taj Adventures. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the crew. Welcome, welcome. What was I saying? Brain? Yeah, so I've never taken 3 trades consecutively back to back with a 0.5% risk, which would end in and result in a 1.5% risk or loss, right? I've only done 3, and I can keep going up to 4 and 5 if I've taken break evens, right? Or it's up to, it obviously depends on the price action as well. It's not a set amount of trades. It's very dynamic, which is important in my opinion. Trading funded accounts. Yeah, I've just started trading this model on an account, on a 100k account. I've primarily been trading live accounts. I've invested. I've traded personal funds. I've never traded props until recently or the last year. And this 100k, I'm just trading it now. I'm currently in minus 1% drawdown. That's pretty much it. But I've taken like 20 trades. And the last 5 have been this model, which from those 5, 4 of them were take profits. I'm not too bothered about this 100k because I've got a lot of other things in the background playing out essentially. I need to collect data. I need to practice this model to apply it for private investing in the future and my own accounts. But the 100k is just to kind of, I want that certificate really. It's quite a cool certificate. I want to print it out. I've got a couple of other ones next to me, right in front of me. I've got a Bloomberg one. I've got excuse me, other ones as well, and I want the certificate just for fun. Yesterday I took a sell in EURUSD. Yeah, I think, was that you that posted it on Discord alongside of the other person? It's the thing that I told you guys about, premium gap, which was right here, premium fair value gap. We wait for a displacement. We've had 3 legs, 1, 2, 3, and stop loss, which should be safe. What RR ratio you go for? 1-to-1 minimum, 1-to-2 ideal, and then 1-to-2 plus rare occasions. Which means 1-to-1, for example, was this one. This is the minimum trade you should take, especially when there's not many news or volatility during the day. This was a 1-to-1. I didn't take it. Then 1-to-2 would be when price gives you a retracement instantly, like something like this, and you place your stop loss there and you target something like that again, which in that case would be something like this. Entry right there, stop loss same location. Let's say that's too tight. 5 just below the low, then the same target. That will be a 1-to-8 or 1-to-2 if you target higher, obviously. And then 1-to-3s come with confidence, really. Like 1-to-3s are based on obviously where your location is for stop loss. You don't want to have it too tight every single trade, but also analyzing the potential room for price to push. For example, in this case, there's a lot of room to push up higher. There's a gap here, 1 hour gap here. There's not much to rebalance above that, so we could go into this very, very easily. We've come from discount, and that's what determines my risk to reward ratios really. But minimum 1-to-1. I don't, although sometimes I've had a high win rate, I don't aim to, how do I say this? I don't aim to have wins smaller than losses. I never do. I posted Nasdaq trade on your Discord. Right, I think I know. I think I've seen that one. Fair enough. I appreciate that, by the way. I see him watch my stories. Crazy. EURUSD, if you do not make me 1 million today, I'm gonna withdraw every penny in my bank account. I've got a couple of sound effects here, guys. I've paid for this full version of voice mod and I never really use it. Let me see. Crazy. This is geo order flow for you guys. Smash that. Why does that show on? It doesn't show for me. Smash the subscribe and like button, guys. Yeah, do that. That helps me. Appreciate that. I'm not even monetized yet. I just do this for fun. I'd get more views and more progress through videos than streams, but I enjoy streams a lot more. I enjoy talking to you guys and showing you how I think whilst price moves. I want to do this with Zoom calls in the future when I have my coaching program. Whack. What's this? Oh, yeah, let's not play that. Although it's non-copyrighted, YouTube might just hate me, so. I hope these songs are not copyrighted, man. The ones that I'm playing right now, because it's by NCS, it's non-copyrighted sounds, and the last video got non-copyrighted claimed or like striked, and I haven't got a strike yet, but I really don't want to. Like, all I make videos about is what I'm talking about, the things I teach, and the chart. Like, that's it. I don't make any editing content or beautiful flashy edits, stuff like that, right? So I really don't want to get striked or have my channel deleted, specifically because you guys have found me and you've told me that I've helped you, so I don't want to just disappear like that. My mentor disappeared like that. One of my mentors, long time ago in 2021, just disappeared. Actually, I'll show you guys. I'll show you who he is. Let me show you something. Give me 1 sec. This is who started it all for me. I'd have to scroll all the way down on Twitter. I can't really show you anything else in correlation to him. This is all I've got, really. So, how do I... Oops. Oh. Give me a second. So, I know that you've come here to watch my stream and all of that, but let me just explain something. This is the man that made the course that taught me everything and gave me a foundational base to start with. That was everything. Most streamers get copyright striked even with NCS tracks. What? Are you serious? Okay, I've got to be careful then. But I definitely need music in the background. Like, this song is not even by NCS. This one is. NCS. Let me find a playlist. Hold on. No. No. Oh my god. Right, we'll just play non... What platform have you purchased? My Funded FX. But I would not suggest them. I would not recommend them to you. Do not buy from them. I regret it. I'm going to get 5 as an FTMO in the future. You can get My Funded FX. They're not terrible, but there's a lot of trickery and evil aura within them. I'll say that much. Don't want to get sued. There we go. The Fat Rat. Can I use the Fat Rat's music? Can you use an AI tool to create your own music? Then just play that. I don't know. Never thought of that. I don't know, really. Anyways, this is someone called GRKFX. That's what his name was in his website and his community. He made the course in 2011. It was called Order Flow Mastery. Mastering order, like supercharging your profits with order flow mastery. That's what he called it. He made it in 2011. someone gained access to it across the year 2018 to 2021, I think 2018, I think. And I happened to find that person online. I messaged him, or he messaged me, and he gave me the course, and I studied it, and I learned a lot. Learned a lot. The song is sick. Right, let's just hope I don't get striked again. I don't really mind. I just don't want to get shut down, really. But yeah, this person, he teaches. If you want to follow him, go ahead. Like I said, he's disappeared. I've got no idea where he is. I had a little clue, and I tried to message a person, but this is who's taught me a lot of stuff from his course, and I've learned everything about macroeconomics, option barriers, stop hunting, so many things, and he's just not around anymore. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's died. I really don't. Oh, one of the viewers in the chat, their take profit is approaching, which is always something I'm happy about. Please update us. I think you're still in the chat. Zarooks. I hope your take profit gets hit, my man. Oof. It was teabag. They closed their trade. Oh. Why? Why did you close your trade, my man? That's what you deserve. A bonker lad. I mean, it's up to you. It's your decision, and that's perfectly respectable. I would say that there's more room. There's more room to push up. We have reached equilibrium, but there is more room to push up, I believe. On the daily, we're just reacting away from it. It's just up to you and your risk tolerance. That's perfectly fine. What's going on the higher time frames? Let's see. Oh, we're still moving. Oh, we've disrespected that. Okay. We are still moving away from a gap on the left, which we have disrespected, but I won't repeat it. You guys know what I'm going to say, but we are moving away from it now. We're still a bit bullish on the weekly when it comes to that move away. There isn't a gap to really go to. On the daily, there has been already, so we have moved into it. So we might see the retracement being this to move even further up to then target. Oh. Get rid of this graveyard of a time frame. Anyways, to target the high for that candle, or the high overall here. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I'm only here for the bonk sounds. I'm glad. Like I said in my last stream, I did try to set up my camera. It works. The camera's perfectly fine. It's very high quality when I record with it, but on stream it just doesn't turn on. Actually does, but it doesn't sustain itself. I don't get it. Also, guys, look at that beautiful delivery. From the displacement onto the gap, which was a confirmation, bread and butter, 4-hour gap gets disrespected. Just full on disrespected in a vile way. We have a retracement, and then expansion. And every other time frame aligns with it. There's somebody in the Discord voice channel by himself. Someone should join him. Went up nicely. Yep. And like I said, it's likely that it will reach the target that that person was targeting. I would say this would be the perfect target if you want to be safe even here, but obviously that's just all uncertainty. If we were to target that, it would have been a... Excuse me. It would have been a 1.8, 1.5, I think. I don't know. Either way, price has delivered beautifully today, and you guys know the reason. People in the stream know the reason. The people watching the videos know the reason. It's the same. It's the exact same reason. It was the exact same reason. And tomorrow it will be the exact same reason. It's not an enigma. It's not an algorithm. It's just market mechanics. Market mechanics. This is a sick song. Well, I hope I don't get striked for this as well. Stop it. What is that? Oh. Oh. We're nearly there. Come on. Let me change the title of the stream if I can. Can I? I don't know if I can. Let me try. Also, you see why I would target the bottom or just under the 1 hour gap, because although this may just simply be a retracement and then to here maybe, or wherever within this range, although this may be a simple retracement and then expansion, it could also lead to reversal, and you don't want to be stuck in those moments at all. Oh, here we go. When a face reveal, I don't mind doing a face reveal. I really don't. I would prefer doing it when I have around 10,000 subscribers in the future. 10,000, 100,000, a million. I'm aiming very high. I don't aim to only make trading videos. I want to make videos about investing. I want to make videos about finance. I want to make videos about self-improvement. I do a lot of things. I box, I exercise, I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu whenever I can. I box a lot. I like combat sports, and I would like to do some sort of a vlog with that. I've got a friend of mine who's in the same city as me. He's a professional boxer. A friend of mine. I know him. We speak every now and then. I'd like to make content with him maybe in the future. Just general self-improvement. I want to own my own podcast as well. So face reveal is amongst those lines within the goals that I want to achieve. It's not a big deal, for sure. I have no problem revealing my face right now. I just... the camera won't work properly, and I don't think it fits well into the context of why my streams are here. I have no problem showing you my face. I'll say that. No problem. What I do have a problem is if this song is copyrighted. Damn, it's so good as well. Alright, well, you know what? I'm gonna get a snack. I know I said that last time, but I'm 15 and still trading. That's good. That's good. You started very early. I was 15 and that's when I started. I started 6 years ago. I'm 21 now. I started when I was 15. Okay, you guys... you guys can witness this target get hit or not. I will be right back.
Your smile feels like a dream. Touted memories, wishing every light could bring you back to me. Neon glows as I'm drifting in this ride. Lonely streets with your ghost by my my side. Whiskey on my lips, toasty on the stereo. Thinking about your touch, why'd you have to go?
Sound of the beat, walking down the street, tearing up my heart, thought we were insane.
Now I'm sitting here thinking about my ex. Got her on red, looking through these texts.
Cashing checks,
Call her
cashing
Whitney
checks.
cause Posty's up next. Shipping out all my feelings FedEx.
Ship 'em.
Now I'm sitting here thinking about my ex.
Keep wasting all my time, can't get you off my mind, yeah.
Call her Whitney cause Posty's up next.
Should've shipped you off FedEx, but I'm picking up Panda Express.
Radio playing, our favorite song's tone. Every lyric, every line feels like you're still on the phone. All the text that you've littered on my screen. Now all your messages be popping up in green. Streetlights change, but feelings don't fade. Wish I could rewind and play our charade. Turn up the volume and drown out the pain. Cover up the ink with designer and fame.
Chinese takeout reminded me of that night. Fried rice, orange chicken, and good
Now I'm
time.
sitting here thinking about my ex. Got her on red, looking through these texts.
Cashing checks,
Call her
cashing
Whitney
checks.
cause Posty's up next. Shipping out all my feelings FedEx. Now I'm sitting here thinking about my ex.
Keep wasting all my time, can't get you off my mind, yeah.
Call her Whitney cause Posty's up next.
Should've shipped you off FedEx, but I'm picking up Panda Express.
I don't want you to hurt me. If I'm not right, then just tell me I'm wrong. What did you do to deserve me? Cause you took a good guy and ruined the mood. You know I hate being alone. You can hurt me if it means that you'll hold me. I know what we built will implode. But if we cut now, I don't mind dying slowly. Ooh, the stars don't align, but I'm glad that they pointed to you. It's reckless, but fuck it, let's light up the fuse. Bombs away, we won't make it out alive, but that's okay. Bombs away, why would I run if you gon' kill me anyway? I don't want you to leave me, even though you're pulling strings at my heart. Why do you act so deceiving? You'll be the reason this shit falls apart. I can't let go.
We still haven't reached it. Oh wow, we got close. We got very close, boys. We got 0.1 pips away close to it. Sorry, I keep having to mute my mic because I'm blocked, my nose and my throat. I've got breathing problems. I really do, and I have to keep coughing in the background. So we've pretty much reached. I mean, earlier I said 50% of the 1 hour gap would be safest. So this isn't my target, by the way, just to give context to people. This is someone else, and the 50% point has been reached of the 1 hour. Look at that. That's not a coincidence. 50% is the fair value location. It's the equilibrium point of everything. Everything is at 50%. Everything is fair value. Everything comes from a gap. Everything goes to a gap. Everything originates from a gap. But today we've hit two targets. One of them was the 1 to 1R, which was an actual trade, a safe trade, and then this one would have been, well, let's just do pure math. So 6, this is 10, just 4 more, 1 to 5 maybe. That's great. That's great. And I do think the price will continue going up higher, although there's no news. Price tends to do this even when there's no news. But what did I say? What did I say yesterday? 50% gap. Oh, it's right there. Displacement up. That's where you take buys. And that's where the buy was, right there. Now, this is a very poor example of the setup. Imagine a good example of it. Imagine when the setup actually plays out very well on good days when news is so predictable, right? Because those are the trades you want to be taking ultimately. But today it worked, and it's not even one of the best setups today. I think it's very poor. This is a poor example of it. But it worked, guys. It worked. And it will continue to. Oh. Oh. Almost. Whoever closed their trade, you should have held it. You should have held it, my friend. Cut your losses quick. And keep your profits running slowly. Because your take profit is about to get hit in front of all of us 12 people here. Almost. Come on, EU. Yep, I'm aware it was you. The 0.5% would have been the minimum place you should have targeted anyway, so that's the logical place for fair value gaps, and there's a reason to why it's actually reversing right there at 0.5%. Right there. More opportunities in New York? Potentially, yeah. We'll see what the news do and how price delivers. Remember that 9 a.m. tends to reverse, so keep that in mind. Which fair value gaps 1 hour? This one. This gap right here, which we've seen a move away from previously. I'm joining the Discord. Nice. Good, thank you. Yeah, so let's be objective really quick and critical, right? There's a huge gap we've created on the 1 hour. Look at that. That's a pretty big gap. So right now, after we have actually reached a 15-minute gap, and then we've taken out buy side liquidity as well, you do need to understand and consider the price will come and retrace like this. Now, the 1 hour candle has 50 minutes left on it, which would be this one. So this candle can quite literally do whatever it wants. It could do wherever it wants. Consider 1 hour when? I am not sure what you mean. I consider the 1 hour and the 4 hour all the time. I get my bias from the 4 hour, but I use the 1 hour for context and potential places to exit, enter, take profit, stop loss, all of that. The 1 hour is useful. So yeah, the 1 hour candle can retrace. It can do wherever it wants at this moment. The target which I gave you guys got reached here, and then the other target which I gave you guys got reached again at 0.5% or 50% of the fair value gap. So yeah, those are the things you want to keep in mind in trading. You don't need to try and be too accurate, too detailed, too, I don't know, whatever, just too accurate with everything, right? All you need is the 50% of everything that you use. So the gap, for example, for me, which is this, and consider it. Just consider it. It doesn't absolutely mean anything. It doesn't have a binary connection to any outcome. It's just a consideration of what price could do. So you could be careful, safe, and risk appropriately. So in this case, for example, if prices went up to 50%, before I would anticipate a sell just as it had entered, right over here, which in this case it did work. But if price does not stop going up and it keeps going up to 50% of the gap like this, considering the context, or assuming the context is correct, up to 50% here, then those would be even more highly probable trades to take sells from. TradingView has really not been my friend today. Maybe we've seen, oh, well, there you go. I actually didn't even know that was there. So is that 50%? Let's see. Maybe not. It's just under 50%, of which, like I said, it could either be within the gap or 50% of it. Once we reach 50%, that's a high probability zone for reversals, specifically based on time. So in this case, 9 a.m., which I showed you yesterday, and we called it out, or we talked about it. And then the next day, 5 a.m. again, which has pushed all the way down, created a huge gap. And then 9 a.m. tried to reverse, but it couldn't because we are on a sell side liquidity targeting mode. So yeah. Hey man, are you a six-figure trader? I'm not sure what you mean, but I trade a challenge at the moment. I have made money in the past live from personal accounts and investments, but I'm currently building a track record. Six-figure trader isn't a thing, my friend. All those people that claim they're six-figure traders are trading simulated capital. Unless you've got private equity investment in you, you're not any type of trader. You're a retail trader that trades capital demo capital, and you get paid in commissions. That's how I see it. So no, I'm not at the moment. We're still dispacing up, guys. This is great. At this point, you would have already taken your profits, so I wouldn't even trade for the rest of the day unless the model reappears. But we have not here a 4-hour gap. The 4-hour gap we'd be interested in would be up here. Is that in premium? Where is my... Here we go. That gap is actually just above 50%, which would be perfect premium trade for sell. Just ping pong back and forth. Is order flow the most important factor to look at when deciding a trade? Please explain why and why not. Sure. So the term order flow literally just means the flow of orders. The market pushes up and the market pushes down because there are people or a large amount of participants, including commercial traders, retail traders, which don't impact that much. Commercial traders, like not central banks, commercial traders, hedge fund managers, and central banks, of who push price up and down. Although people like to claim there's an algorithm, which there are factors like that into it, it's not an algorithm. It's just the price mechanic logic, which is liquidity. Order flow essentially describes liquidity. Orders going into the market, orders coming out of the market. Where there are more orders, there will be more liquidity. The only reason why the market will move down is because it has enough liquidity to do so. The only reason why the market will move up is because it's got enough liquidity to do so. The reason why a lot of financial crashes happen is because it liquidates a lot of deep pocket traders and investors that have been investing the opposite direction for a long time. Financial crashes are very rigged, and it's essentially a huge amount of order flow that gets cancelled and stopped out during those crashes, which liquidates the people that are trying to make a trade and profit from it. Order flow describes where there are orders, where there used to be orders, and then you can anticipate where the orders will be. For example, like I've explained in my videos, there's orders within this gap. There's also orders within lows and highs, but also within a gap. And once we get there, we are anticipating a move away from it because we are in discount, and it's given us enough liquidity to move up. What's the name of the tool you use to measure premium and discount levels? Can you make a video explaining how to use it? Yeah, I will do. I'll make a full video called how to use the OTE, which is Optimal Trade Entry Tool. ICT came up with it. It's just a Fibonacci tool. It's this one right here, the Fibonacci retracement tool. It's literally just that. It's nothing else. And these are the settings. If you double click, you can change them here. These are the settings I use. I will post this on Discord, actually, I think, or one day. And yeah, I've got 0, 0.62, 1, 705, 5, and 79. These are just the Fibonacci numbers, but rounded up. That's literally it. They're just rounded up. And, excuse me, I use those to gauge premium and discount within a range, pretty much. That's pretty much it. The 50% point is the balancing point. It's called equilibrium. That's where price is balanced. And then above and below is where price is not balanced, and it would like to be balanced, essentially. I'm going to record a video right after the stream, so my voice really hurts already. Oh boy. I'm just waiting for this to potentially get reached. Speaking of ICT, is he legit? Give me a sec. Some people say his concepts do not work, and some do say it works. So they do work. It's just, it's subjective, my friend. So it comes with a lot of years of experience of seeing price action and then coming to your own conclusion. Here's the thing. He calls the order blocks, well, that pattern, he calls it order block. Some people call it liquidity block, or liquidity stoppage, or stop hunting, whatever. He calls something institutional order flow entry drill. Some people call it a stop hunt. Some people call it a liquidity sweep. They call it a false breakout, right? And the point I'm trying to make is that it's not that his concepts work, it's the people of who use those concepts that make them work. And I know that sounds very typical, and people will say, oh, but you're just pushing responsibility away. But that's not the case. It's genuinely true. Like, you can get any concept, and if you backtest it enough, get enough data and practice it in an actual account, or even backtesting it for a long time, you can make it profitable, that you can make an edge out of many systems. And then you have to think and ask yourself, was it the system that made that happen, or was it you? No, it was you. There's ways to tweak a certain concept into making it profitable. For example, he says order blocks, fair value gaps, all those arrays are tradable, right? And then if someone tries to trade every single one of them individually, they will fail. Because you need context, you need bias, you need higher time frame narrative, you need everything. You need a lot of things. So his concepts do work, but it's you, it's in the power of yourself to be able to use them and actually apply everything else alongside of those concepts. Because the concepts are just repackaged terms. That's pretty much it. This is about to hit, guys. Finally, I think. Or maybe it's another false move. Still waiting for this. If it doesn't get reached, then I might as well end the stream. I'll make the video for you guys. Can you make a video with a 1 hour fair value gap integration as well? I mean, I already have, my friend. I get a lot of questions about stuff like this, and my answer is always like, I've mentioned everything in the videos. Like, if you watch my videos, I mention how I use the 1 hour gaps and how I say, if you think that the 4 hour is very far, like 30 pips, and the day has already moved 20 pips, then target the 1 hour. ICT definitely works, brother. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think it's the concepts themselves that work, it's the person that makes them work. But I agree, for sure. Let me change scene. Come on. Although we've already reached my target, I just want to see this target of the person that was watching my stream, their target get reached. And then I'll be ending it. The stream, not myself. Will rewatch, somehow I missed something. Yeah, within the first few videos, I think the 3 first videos, I mentioned how if you can't target a 4-hour gap or you think it's too far, then just consider the 1 hour. You wanna target the easiest places on price. Oh. Nearly there. Yay! Nice. Let's go. Your take profit hit, my friend. I don't know if you're still in the stream, but I did say you should have held. But that's perfectly fine. If you took your profit, then good for you. So today we have moved how many pips away from our model? And for the new viewers that are in right now, or the people that have been watching, I called this out yesterday. I said within 50%, just under it would be perfect. If we traveled even further down into this gap, we would look for longs. And clearly that was a smart decision to do so. So I'm getting tired. I'm very tired. But from the gap itself, which is here, we have moved 10 pips almost. That's great. 10 whole pips. But yeah, I think I should leave it at that. What do you guys think? I think I'll leave it at that. I was supposed to backtest today, but then I saw my model playing out in live conditions, so I thought I might as well do it in front of you guys. It's much easier to do that rather than cherry pick it. I think I'm going to end the stream. I'll nap, I think. And then I'll have to record a video. I need to go to the gym as well. But yeah, the trade we took earlier, smash take profit, not even much in drawdown whatsoever. Stop loss into break even almost instantly. The next target, the actual ultimate target got reached. One of the students or viewers' targets got reached as well. And prices are likely to continue up. And the model played out live. Yeah, I mean, it'll continue to, man. It will continue to. I don't get many people to witness it, but that's perfectly fine. In the future, maybe they will notice and come back to these streams and see that it's always been working. This has been working, from my knowledge, since October 2023, when I started practicing it. So yeah, I appreciate everybody that joined in. Thank you for joining the stream. I will record a video very soon now. It'll be a very good one. You should watch it. You should take notes. Risk appropriately. Be disciplined. Backtest. Please check out Traders Casa. They're a great company to trade with or backtest with. And you'll hear of me from the next video. You'll see my next video and hear me there. So yeah, I'll try and stream tomorrow. I can't guarantee it though, but thank you for joining, and have a nice rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.
There wasn't much in your eyes, living for another's life. Keep it inside the lines till you rip it to pieces. Take it into your veins, a medicine without pain. Visitors in your brain start kicking and screaming. Keep screaming. Run, run, when all of your friends life meant for anyone? Run, run,